What is up, my puffer people? It is I, Kane, your puffer pal, back with another video, and we're doing a less energetic, more calm video today. As you can see, this is just a league match I have where I played very stally, because the theme of today's video is that's in the background, just as kind of like a background thing to watch. But I'm just gonna be talking about stall, and is it a healthy play style, or for the that adds more to competitive, or is it more of just a very cancerous, very cheap way to play that kind of takes away from the fun of Pokemon? Let us get into our little discussion. So I want to start off by kind of playing devil's advocate, going for both sides and talking about why you might defend or be against stall. So obviously, I feel like the main thing with people who are against stall, obviously, it just takes a lot. It's like you go into a game. When I go into a game, I usually just want to hop in, play a game. Okay. When I go into a game of competitive, I just want to go and play a game, but not play for an hour or a half hour. I want to play maybe a 10-minute game. Max. Most people, not max, but most people don't want to play a game more, if a game goes longer than 15 minutes, most people don't want to really play that long. Cause they want to play, but they don't want to play one game. Because at that point, it just gets boring playing against the same team for so long. Just because it's not because you're playing very good. It's just because you're playing very stally and keep clicking recovery. You keep just playing very cheaply, and it gets very annoying. So that's kind of one of the biggest things that people don't like about stall, is that it's just annoying because it just makes the game go on for so much longer than it really should be going on for. Again, no one wants to play a Pokemon game that's freaking an hour long. I have played Pokemon games that are literally an hour long, and it's just not as fun. It just takes a lot of the fun out of the game, and it even makes you less. It just makes you want to play the actual game way less. Another reason is, of course, it's just boring. It's when people play stall, they have to predict way less, and it takes away from a lot of the strategy and fun that's really the main point of Pokemon. Even if you look at my replay, I'm just clicking recover most of the time. That's really all that people who play stall do. They just switch into Pokemon that beat other Pokemon and click recovery, toxic, and slowly whittle down your team until you eventually lose or forfeit or something. So it's really not the most fun way to play Pokemon. Is it a fine way? Sure. But it's very, let's just say it's very cheap. It doesn't take a lot of skill to play stall. If someone picked up Pokemon, they could easily win games with stall. Now, on the flip side, stall is actually very good because you don't want your Pokemon games to just be, I click a move, dead. I click a move, dead. where you're just basically trading kills. Most of the time when you go into a Pokemon game, what you really want is you want to be where to take strategy. But it's not really strategy when it's just clicking buttons and trading things. Where stall, does it take a lot of strategy? No, but at least you have to pivot and have the counters for specific Pokemon. Whereas with some hyper offense, you're kind of just clicking buttons. You're not really, really so it's very, you don't want a game that's just clicking buttons. So stall kind of makes it so that there's more actual thinking, I guess, while also not, But then there's obviously stall is a legit way to play. There's nothing against stall, and it's honestly there's nothing wrong with it. You really can't argue against stall because it's a legit thing in the game. If it was really bad when they take out these Pokemon, but they don't because it's supposed to exist. Bulky Pokemon are made to exist. There's a reason they exist. And there's a reason that breakers exist too. And it's not like Stall's too OP, because if you run the right team, you can easily beat stall. So it's not like stall's like the most broken strategy ever to where, oh, you were in stall, you win. No, it's good, but it's not broken by any means. So, I mean, I don't think it's exactly, like game breaking to have it. Now, I'm going to start going into more my opinions. When I play a game in verse stall, I never really enjoy it because it's just, like, I can't get into verse and stall because I don't want to play a long game because the longer I play, the more likely I am to choke. And when you play against stalls, it's so often where you have the Pokemon to break their other Pokemon, but like it's all about getting it in. And if you fail to get it in properly, you could lose the game because of it. Or if you lose that one Pokemon, that's like, okay, I need this Pokemon if I want any hope to win. If you lose it, you then lose, and it's really annoying. It's also just really annoying. It's a really bad feeling when you lose to a player, when you know you played fine, it's just the stall, and you really couldn't handle the stall. That's like the worst feeling in the world. Like, it really just is a terrible, terrible feeling. Like, I know that feeling, and I hate it so much. But yeah, I mean, it's not terrible, but like I don't think is stall the worst thing in the world. No, I mean I do sometimes at least enjoy, because I will say the good thing about stall is it's so satisfying when you can finally break that Pokemon and you're like, yes, and you beat stall. It's just so fun. So even though it's annoying, it also adds a very, like, you feel very proud of yourself when you're able to beat a stall player because you're like, yes, get wrecked. You are trash, and you basically. And I love it. I love being stalled. I'm telling you, it is the greatest feeling in the world. Now I'm gonna kind of get into some of the more common stall Pokemon in this gen, and kind of talk about, like, are they... So, you got Mandibuzz, Slowbro, Corviknight, Toxapex, Chansey, Clefable, Ferrothorn, and Hippowdon. Now, obviously, okay, I forgot Tangrowth, but obviously you've got the Regenerator Mons, Toxapex, Slowbro. You've got really bulky, annoying Flyings. You've got the kind of Clerics with, like, Wish support or just healing toxic stuff. You have a nice Hazard Setter who's super bulky, and you have a Sand Setter who's also very bulky. So these Pokemon are a lot of the Pokemon you see on stall. Now, why am I showing you these? Kind of just to show what the strategy of stall is. A lot of people with stall will have the very bulky Pokemon. Most of the time, you're going to see at least some of these Pokemon because they're just very bulky. And that's kind of what stall is. You want the bulk. But they also, a lot of times, have other stuff going for them. Most of the time, stall doesn't just go for, like, bulky Pokemon, which is why you'll see, like, there are bulky Pokemon that don't get used all that much. But why do these Pokemon? Well, because for a very good reason. So this Pokemon, Mandibuzz, like something like Mandibuzz, is chosen because of its dark typing, which allows it to wall a lot of the popular Pokemon in the meta, such as Dragapult and Alakazam, kind of Crawdon, not really, but Excadrill, because of flying. Let's see, Hippo could switch into kind of Komodo, Maracalola, like Rillaboom. Its typing allows it to switch in and usually beat a lot of the scarier, more used Pokemon in the meta. Slowbro's used because of Regenerator, which allows it to come in, take a hit, be super annoying and bulky, and then switch out. So it can just come in and take a hit and then switch out and get all its health back, which is so annoying. Corviknight's used because of pressure. What pressure does is it basically makes it so that they lose 2 PP instead of 1 PP. Now that doesn't sound bad. In like a 50-turn game, losing a lot of your PP could lead you to lose. Like on moves like Close Combat that have low accuracy, every PP is valuable. And if you click Close Combat against a Corviknight, you only have 4 close combats, basically. So that's huge pressure. Toxapex is the same as Slowbro. Regenerator. But the thing that's better is it is immune to Toxic. So if you look at this, Corviknight's the same. And you have Natural Cure. You are immune, and you can be immune with Magikarp. A lot of stall Pokemon are immune to Toxic or have a way to like be Toxic because Toxic is if your stall team gets Toxic, that's the only way. That's a lot of the time. Sometimes the only way they can beat your stall team is just toxicking and kind of like stalling out your stall team. Because sometimes they just can't break your team. And if they can't break your team and they can't toxic your team, then you win, basically. It's impossible to beat you. Chansey has chosen A for its natural cure, which means it can't be basically poison, it just switches out. It also gets access, it's a cleric with aromatherapy. It does get access to Wish, I believe. Wish, yes. It also has access to Seismic Toss and Reliable Recovery, which is huge. Seismic Toss gives it a very good static amount of damage that it's able to do each turn, and it can break a sub. Meaning, while it's kind of setup fodder, you can't just set up a sub on it and win. Like, you can't set up a sub because they'll be able to break it with Seismic Toss. Then we have Clefable. Clefable has been in this gen one of the most popular Pokemon. Why? Well, first of all, Fairy typing is probably the best typing. That and Water are probably the two best typings in the game. And it also has access to Aromatherapy as a cleric like Chansey, but even better, Wish and Teleport. So what Wish and Teleport do is they basically Wish. So Wish is a move that on the turn you click it puts up a Wish, and then the next turn will heal your Pokemon. So you're probably like, okay, they offer 50%. That's cool, but what does Teleport do? Basically, it makes you switch out, but it has negative priority, meaning you'll always switch out last after you get attacked. So what's so good about Clef is it's so bulky, you could take a hit and then teleport out and then bring in a less bulky Pokemon to get recovered. So it's basically used as a sponge to heal and get better Pokemon in. Ferrothorn's super good because of Iron Barbs, and so with a Rocky Helmet, it's a super good counter to the very scary physical attackers that are taking like 20-30% from Rocky Helmet plus Iron, but they're taking a quarter of their health, so 25% from Rocky Helmet plus Iron Barb. It also has access to spikes, making it and Stealth Rocks, making it a fantastic hazard setter. Then Hippowdon. Hippowdon's incredibly bulky, and it also has access to Sandstream and Whirlwind, which is cool because it allows it to get out those pesky setup sweepers. Sandstream allows it to get up the sand, which not only is good if you want to run this makes it also good on offensive team, but it also makes it good for residual damage that your Hippowdon is not going to be taking. So why do I tell you all this? Because this is where I say, I actually think stall is healthy for competitive. Why? Well, because I think stall isn't as kind of simple as people claim it is. I even said, like, sure, it's cheap because it's very easy to use, but it also does still takes some strategy. Why? Because when you want to play stall, you have to make sure you have good team composition. You want to make sure you have the typings, because a lot of these good mons are good, but like you don't want all, like, if you want all these four, they're all weak to electric. And you also want to run them with like, I want Regenerator Slowbro, so maybe you want to pivot to get into Regenerator Slowbro and then take it out in order to get the recovery. I want to run Pressure Stall Corviknight. You want to figure out what Pokemon you will be reliably able to pressure stall, and then you want to have support for that with maybe, I can't pressure stall electric types, like a super hard-hitting electric types, like not like a Raikou. What's in the meta right now? Electric types such as Zeraora. That's where Hippowdon comes in. Those fire types, that's where Toxapex comes in. So I think although stall is very cheap, it also does take a lot of planning where you have to have the proper team comp and the proper abilities and strategy in order for your team to really put in the work that you want it to. You're running Chansey. Well, Chansey, you have to make sure it doesn't get knocked off, because if it loses that Eviolite, it's still bulky, but that Fizz Def is very bad without Eviolite. And with it, it's not that good, but without it, it's just absolute garbage. Oh, I'm running Ferrothorn. Well, you got to make sure you remember it's got a 4 times weakness to fire, so you have to make sure the Pokemon you're trying to wall doesn't get access to a fire coverage like Mystical Fire. Oh, Mandibuzz. Well, Mandibuzz, you want to make sure they don't get like coverage because a lot of ghost types get electric coverage or ice coverage. So I think there's actually a lot more strategy in stall than people give it credit for. Do I think it's fun? Do I like going against stall? No. But do I think it's a healthy playstyle? Yes, I do. I actually really do. Even teleport class, which everyone hates because it's so annoying and cheap, takes strategy because you have to make sure you are, oh, am I in range to be able to take this and click teleport? If not, maybe I should protect to give myself the wish, then I could teleport a wish. You have to still be thinking, you have to be on your toes, because as a stall player, if you lose one piece of your stall team, that's it. You probably lose. Because then they could just break through your team. Because as good as stall is, it's also a lot of stall mons have very fatal weaknesses, like Chansey, physical attacks are very, Toxapex. It really is quite passive. Does it get haze? Yes, but it's not going to be able to hit you hard. So you could easily stall it out with your own poison or steel types. Corviknight Knight's biggest problem is probably that Spadef, while good, if you hit it with like even a flamethrower, it's going to be taking a lot of damage. So that's why I think stall is not a terrible strategy, and I think it's actually healthy for competitive. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about stall? Do you think it's healthy, or do you think it should not be a strategy used? Obviously, we can never ban stall, but let me know what you think, because it's always interesting. Of course, be kind. Don't trash my opinion. Oh, stall, it's terrible, kid. You're probably only saying that because you're a stall player. I'm not. I think it's a healthy form of strategy for competitive. If you disagree, say it politely in the comments, and I am very willing to discuss with any and all of you. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this fun little video where I kind of talk about stall and my opinions on it. And until next time, my puffer people, stay puff.